A broken hallelujah, hallelujah, yeah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hello, hello, hello. I am getting ready to start this live, getting ready to start this live, getting ready to start this live, getting ready to start this live. I am going to start this live very, very soon. Hello, 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 anybody that might be looking in on me. I am about to start a live. It's 10:10. It's around 10:10 a.m. It's December 16th, and I've challenged myself to start doing more lives on TikTok, because as the new year begins, I like to get into doing more lives. And I thought that why not start now? Why not start now in December? Have some fun with it, and challenge myself a bit. So the goal and the challenge is I will try my very best. So I will be lightly consistent. I will try my very best, to do a live 2 times a day during to the end of the year. Try my very best to do lives to the end of the year around the 10 o'clock hour, 10:10, and the 2 o'clock hour, 2:22. I won't always be able to do both lives. I won't always be able to do any lives. I want to try my best during the week to do those lives. But it's Christmas week, it's Christmas month, and we're preparing to end 2025. So you don't know how time is going to actually go. You don't know what you're going to be what you're going to end up doing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try my best. It's just a light challenge to do something different, to do something new, to have fun with it. So because in the new year, I am hoping to expand what I do on social media, because I actually quite enjoy it. I think I could be good at it, and I think that I have been doing this sort of stuff, building an online platform for long enough that I have gained enough experience and confidence and understanding and skill and what I need to start building, start creating, to start building. I think that I'm not perfect, and I don't know everything, and I am now learning a lot of new things and trying a lot of new things. So I won't be perfect, but I don't think any of us are perfect. And I think that the more you step out and you challenge yourself, and the more you do things that scare you, this kind of thing would have scared me back in the day. I'm not as scared as I would have been before. I actually feel quite comfortable now doing it, because, like I said, I've gotten in front of the camera for so long over the last 10 years that I found my voice. I finally found my voice. I found my confidence. I found my courage. I found everything that I need to get started, to start building, to start expanding and building on it. So the whole purpose of these lives that I'm going to be doing is, we can get to know each other. You can ask me questions if you find me interesting and find that you want to ask me something, ask me anything. that is, ask me anything that is within reason, I guess, that is polite and kind, and ask my honest perspective on things. I am an INFJ, which is a rare personality type. It's a 1 to 2% personality type. So I can promise you that I'm a very unique individual, and you're never going to meet anybody like me. I'm like a snowflake. We all are snowflakes, to be honest. But I am authentically in my uniqueness. I don't know how to not be myself. Like, literally, if I try to be anybody else but me, I won't be able to do it. I can't do it even if I tried. I can only be me. I'm not a pretender. I am a very genuine person, a very honest person, and I have learned to, not let other people scare me as much as they used to, right? Let people's opinions of me scare me as much as they used to. I also used to overthink. I used to overanalyze. Did I say that right? Should I have said it different? I used to really, really overthink when it come to engaging with people, because I felt uncomfortable engaging with people. And the reason I felt uncomfortable engaging with people is because I didn't see the world the way people see the world, and I always had to try to, like a chameleon, adjust my way of talking or thinking, or adjust my thoughts and my perspective to, in a way to feel like I fit in, or to be understood, right? Because I felt misunderstood. I felt like people didn't get me. I felt like I didn't know how to explain myself to people, because as an INFJ, like you have feelings, you feel things, but you don't necessarily know how to express the feelings. You know what I mean? Like when you walk into a room and you say, there's something off about this room, I got a real bad feeling, and then somebody asks you, well, why? What's the reason? Or you say, something's off about this person. I don't trust this person. And somebody would ask you, like, well, why you don't trust this person? And I would be like, I don't know, it's just a feeling, And a lot of people don't back in the day, people didn't like the "it's just a feeling" answer. People didn't get the "it's just a feeling." It's just a feeling was disregarded, right? But now we are starting to understand. A lot of people are starting to understand that just a feeling is a big freaking deal. That intuition, that inner compass, that inner guide that is telling you don't go that way, even though the room looked pretty and it looked all like. It's the gingerbread house, right, is sweet and colorful and whimsical and attractive. Even though that gingerbread house is so beautiful, that feeling that would tell you don't go anywhere near that gingerbread house. That's the one thing that might save your life, But as an INFJ, as the person that I am, I've always been in tune with that inner voice, and I didn't understand why a lot of people didn't seem to be as in tune with their inner voice as I was with mine. I had a whole inner world inside my head. So anyway, thanks for looking in. For all those who are looking in from the outside, thank you for looking in. Thank you for peeping in. Like I said, I'm trying to start the journey of expanding my social media presence and using my voice, which I just said, I just found my voice. I found my voice over the years, especially in this year, in 2025, I found my voice. And, I'm getting ready to expand. So if you want to support my efforts, just come in and like the live, share the live, tap the screen, do all the things that you do to support other people's lives, that you do to support lives. Help me out, help me to grow, help me to help me to build this thing, help me to do this thing. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to ask me any questions. One of the things that I realize is happening is I have no idea. What is that? Okay, something just popped up in the corner that I have no idea what it is. I'm still trying to figure out. Life Fest created a treasure box. Okay, I don't know what that means though. Life Fest created a treasure box. If anybody knows what that means, and lit up all gifts in the gallery. If anybody knows what that means, you could help me out and give me some tips. Because I'm still trying to figure out this TikTok live thing. Because it is actually it has been intimidating for a while with all these like things that will be on the screen and you don't know what the hell all this stuff mean. And I tried to look up on YouTube some sort of tutorial, and I don't see any, at least not any updated ones. So I kind of like figuring it out as I go along. But if you know what you know, share what you know, or help support or whatever, help support the life. You feel free to ask me any questions. Like I said, I'm an INFJ. If you're curious about anything to do with an INFJ, I also have a lot of perspective and opinions on a lot of things. I don't always voice my opinions and perspective because it's very, very difficult. It is, especially in this timeline, because this timeline, like, real crazy. And, the amount of the crazy shit that happened in this world right now, I don't know how to really express my perspective, because I personally think that it's not as complicated as we're making it out to be, and it's as black and white as it seems. Like, we know the difference between right and wrong, and we recognize when something is right or something is wrong. We know the difference between, we should know the difference between a lie and truth, right? And we recognize when somebody lying and when they're telling the truth. If we're not in tune with those things anymore, if we can't recognize the difference between the truth and a lie and right and wrong, then that is something that we should start to evaluate. Why? Evaluate how we get to that point where we as human beings can recognize and can agree on what is right and what is wrong. The difference between right and wrong, because of all kind of affiliations and all kind of groups and labels that we carry, and identification and the identity that we carry. We can't recognize the difference between right and wrong anymore. And you need to evaluate why. So I don't know how to have these conversations, because I find that, like, people making simple conversations complex and complex conversations simple. And I feel like the conversations that people are having at the moment, for me, from my perspective, are all wrong. And I don't know how to jump in on those conversations. So what I've decided to do is, has lit up all gifts in their gift gallery. What I've decided to do is, we're like focus, narrow things down a little bit, narrow my focus down. And instead of like trying to focus on the big puzzle or trying to focus on a big wide world, because I know what's going on in the world. Trust me, I know all the things. I know all the bad news. I know all the things. But instead of like focusing my energy on that, what I have decided to do is to narrow it down into the simplest form, into focusing on me, focusing on my internal self, focusing on my health and my body and my mind and my soul, and focusing on my present, where I am, what I could physically touch, what is around me. Like, focus on, they just narrow it down to the me and the now, right? So like I said, feel free to join and ask questions and jump in. And if you want me to have a conversation about something, and you're interested in me talking about certain things, then just let me know, right? Tap the screen and do all the things, like the live, share it, help me out. But in the meanwhile, until I have people engaging with me and engaging with my live, I will just keep talking. I'll talk for the next hour. because the whole goal is to continue to practice, continue to put myself out there, and build, like expand my platform, like I said, and continue to find my voice. This is now my TikTok live voice, because before I was doing videos and I would do all kind of different things, and now I just expanded a little bit more and finding my TikTok live voice. So like I said, yeah, Bajan, yep, Bajan. Are you Bajan? You recognize the accent? Yep, I am a Bajan. I haven't been in Barbados in 20 years, so I don't know. Tobin? What's Tobin? I don't know what that is. Tobin. Is that a different place? Tobin is autocorrect. Okay. So what are you saying then? Oh, St. Thomas. Okay, I think that are St. Tomian. Am I saying it right? Is it? I don't know what St. Tomian is. Which one, St. Thomas or St. Tomian? Is that a place that I don't know about? St. Tomian. I got my computer right here. Let me just. St. Thomas. Okay. I always wanted to go to St. Thomas. I never went. I always wanted to go to St. Thomas. That's really cool. So have you ever traveled to Barbados? I know, right? It's take a while for us to type things, and we don't, and you just can't even tell if somebody answering you. But I was born there. No, I haven't yet. Oh, you was born in Barbados or St. Thomas? Okay. So I can give you some time to type. And thank you for joining my live. I really appreciate it. So I don't have to talk to myself a little bit. St. Thomas. Okay, so you were born in St. Thomas. Okay, but you never went to Barbados. Okay, and I've never been to St. Thomas, but I always wanted to go. So one of the things I want to do, thank you for liking my life. One of the things I hope to do someday is explore the islands again. Go back that way, because I haven't been back in the Caribbean in a while. So go back that way and do some island hopping, because I can appreciate the islands differently now, because I'm an older person. I left Barbados when I was 23, and I have some friends who were born in Barbados. Oh, nice. That's how you recognize the accent. Yeah, I left there when I was 23, and I just had my one daughter, and now I have 5 kids, and the oldest daughter, that she was 1 when we left, so she is 19 now. So one of the things I hope to do at some point is go on an island hop now that I'm older and I got a different perspective on life, because I've seen more things, and I have kind of matured. I live in Virginia. Oh, nice. I have never really, I passed through Virginia, but I never really experienced Virginia. Never went there. So, is it nice there? I assume it's nice there since you live there, and it looks nice. I hope it's nice there. But yeah, I'm in Connecticut. So yeah. What I was saying now is that I kind of mature, mild winters. Oh yeah, mild. Oh, nice. Well, I don't know if I don't know what the definition of mild winters is. We haven't had any really real bad winters in Connecticut in a while. I don't know. Maybe these are mild winters too. Semi mild winters, but yeah. So I raised my kids here. I have 4 boys here after my daughter, and I had 5 boys here actually, and I lost one. So I matured in the U.S. So I'm curious now to see the islands from a different perspective now that I've kind of like matured and grown up, because the last time I was in the islands I was a young person with a different perspective. So when was the last time that you went back to the Caribbean or visited the Caribbean? And I can give you time to type. And thank you for liking the live. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It feels so good to have, you know, somebody come in and I don't have to be talking to myself. So I really appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Same here. I left right after I graduated. Okay, all right, right. So you grew up here too. How do we feel about it now, huh? How do we feel about it now? Do you feel like you're ready to leave, or are you still comfortable? Still comfortable here? And I can give you time to type that while I keep talking. You know, my husband like really ready to leave, and I'm between minds. I've lived on the mainland most of my life. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how you feel? Like I still love my home. That's good. That's good. And they're comfortable. I'm not sure if I like where we are. I like where we are. I'm not sure if it's home yet though, but it's beautiful, and I'm thankful to be here where I am at the time that, you know, with all the madness that going on. At least I don't feel like in the center of the madness. I live next to the woods. Like while I talking to you, I overlooking the woods right there, so I can see this little forest with the, you know, the trees and the blanket of snow, and it's very peaceful and it's very calm where I am. I'm not sure if it's home, so I still waiting to feel that homey feeling, you know, to feel like you're home, you know. But so I between minds, and I just like keeping the faith and between minds, you know, like when my husband like I'm ready to go, but I'm still like keeping the faith, because one of the things that I like about where I am now is that, you know, like for instance, I got this room. I love wooded areas. It reminds me of home since I lived in the countryside. Wow. Yes. Yeah. It's so peaceful. It's so calm, and like you could see the animals, you know, you could see the deer like walking through the woods, and you could see, especially from this room that I'm sitting in, this is where I get to do my recordings and work and stuff like that. And I love where I am because I got the window that just overlooking the woods, so you could see the birds, you know, and the squirrels and all the little animal life just happening outside my window. And that is just like so peaceful and so like just lovely, you know. So I really like it. So that's one of the reasons too. Nothing like, tell you, nothing like peace of mind. That's one of the reasons too why like making the decision to say, oh, I'm ready to go is not like how to say, I know for sure kind of feeling, because part of me just could imagine continuing and building on a life here, you know, creating a life here. But the other part of me, like, you know, I don't know, not priority. Yeah, you know what I mean? Nothing like peace, not priority. I'm not sure. Oh, right, to leave. Exactly, you know, I don't know. I'm waiting to see how things play out. How things play out. So, you know, I thank you for liking the live. Continue to like the live and tap the screen and help me out. Thank you for, and if there's any other questions or anything, you know, I just like I said, I do you, especially with the economy, with this economy. Exactly. I got 5 kids, so you can't even leave just like, that's another thing too. You can't just up and leave, because it's like it can take a lot of money to do it. You know, so it ain't gonna happen just like that. So you really gotta let things play out however it can play out. You know, you gotta keep the faith, and that's what I've been doing, keeping the faith. You know, Let things play out however it can play out. Some comments in this live has been filtered. Okay. And see what happens. You know, so how long have you been up here in America? I've been here for like about 18 years. How long have you been here? You know, continuing these continuing these lives is be a challenge because something you got keep talking and all that. But I enjoying this though. I'm enjoying this because came a long way. I came a long way because when I started out doing social media and stuff like that, you know, at first you was nervous and you had a lot of you know, those filler words and those breaks and those pauses and you rambling. I used to feel like a rambling. I graduated college and started my career and now retired. Wow. Wow. Okay, so that sounds like you were here for quite a while. And do you have like kids? And are they grown? And let me know if, you know, just asking questions. Let me know if, you know, you don't want to be answering those questions. You know. My kids are, my daughter's 19. I have a 16-year-old boy. All the rest is boys. 16-year-old, 12-year-old, an 11-year-old, and 9-year-old. My husband and I have been married 38 years. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary this year, you know, and wow, that's just, I can't believe it. You know, we have 3 adult children. Oh, that's awesome. That is really cool. That's really cool. And 2 grandsons. Nice. Nice. Wow. And all girls. Wow. Three girls. Wow. Yeah, I only got 1 girl. Even my son that passed away was a boy. He had like 5 boys, you know, and 1 girl, only 1 girl. And then I just keep getting boys after boy after boy. You know. So yeah, I retired from teaching to be a caregiver to my husband. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. You know, I hope that, you know, all is well with him, or, you know. So how is he doing? Or I don't know, what would be the right next question? You know. Are you still his caregiver? And like, if I ask him too personal questions, let me know. You know, I am basically now getting in the practice of talking with people again, because it's been a while. You know, it's been a while. Like I have kind of been in a season of isolation for a while, so I'm now starting to put myself out there and now starting to learn how to talk to people again. You know, even if you're talking in this format, how to have conversation. You know, and I think a lot of us find our way back to having conversation with people, right? In 2022, someone hit him in a parking lot, and because he was diabetic, he suffered many. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. So, how is he now? Is he, you know, headed? No, he is a double amputee. But is he? I'm sorry to hear that as well. I'm really sorry. But is he okay? Like, is he, you know, is he doing okay? Considering, or yeah. And forgive me if that's not the right way to frame that question. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. He's doing okay. Okay, glad to hear that he's doing okay. Because, yeah, I know that must be hard you know, I can only imagine. So I'm sorry to hear that he had that experience and he had to, this happened. But has challenged with anxiety and depression. He's challenged with, I could imagine because that's not easy. That's not easy at all. And I could imagine that it's not something that, other people could relate to. So, those are feelings that you probably are not going to be able to really express with other people how it feels to be in that situation. I could only imagine, but I really can't imagine. So we take it one day at a time. That's the truth. That's like all we could do is take it one day at a time. In this life, in all the situations that hit us, one day at a time. And that's what I've learned to do. From all the experiences that we have been having over the last 10 years, like my world has changed drastically in 10 years, and like I said, I matured and grew up here. Like, I used to live in a bubble and I used to understand the world differently, and I started to understand the world. I gained a deeper understanding of the world over the last 10 years, especially because of the era of in the internet and social media. Now we get to talk to people and we get to see different perspectives of people in all kinds of situations and scenarios. So you have a wider understanding of the world. So I started to see the world differently, and because of that, I have learned that you just, like, literally the best advice that you could give anybody is just like one day at a time. Like, literally be present in the moment, and not worry too far ahead of what the things that you can't change, the things you can't control. I started writing a children's book series, and I wrote 2 books, but haven't been able to continue. Need. But haven't been able to continue. Need. Okay. But how I need to focus time. Okay, it was incomplete. Okay. All right. Focus time. Like we just gotta do the best we can, right? When when it's time for you to continue, you will continue. You just gotta try your best. But like sometimes when things stall, it's because it might not necessarily be the time to do it, or it might not, it might not be the time yet. Like, because sometimes we will want to do something and set a goal and try to do something, and we will try. You will sit down at the computer, you will try to do it, or you will try to find the time, and you just can't. Too much to do. Exactly. Like, I feel like when the time is right, certain things might clear, or you might find that time or find that push, and when you won't know when. Sometimes, like I say, you just want to do something and you just feel like you should be doing it, and you feel like you're dropping the ball. But if you really want to do something, if it's something for you to do, you will find that time and you will find that push, and you will get, TikTok is my outlet. Exactly. TikTok is my outlet. It will happen. It will happen in the right timing, and you're gonna know when, because you're gonna gotta have that calling, that push, that and even if things in your way, you gonna got the motivation so strong that you're gonna get ready, that you're gonna move those things out of your way, so you gonna know when. So just, it's okay to have that book, just on hold for a bit, because it's not gonna die. I know it feel like you're dropping the ball, but you know, when the time right, when the time is right, you're gonna know. You're gonna know when the time is right. Creating videos celebrating relationships with family and friends and preserving our family legacy. Exactly. I know what you mean, because for me, like, I view TikTok as like a kind of like a public diary. I find I'm more interested in like documenting my life and my days out loud than private journals. You know, it's more fun this way. So to me, it's like documenting this moment in time and, you know, the growth and the journey that you took. You know, one of the coolest things about TikTok and the other like outlets that does this is that is when you know, when they show you the on this day thing, that post, and they will show you a post that you made a year ago. And I love that because sometimes it gives you, you know, it helps you to compare where you were a year ago, like what, you know, what you was doing on this day a year ago compared to now. So you got like a good perspective of how far you've come as a reminder of how far you've come, and the journey that you just, you know, that you traveled. So yeah, remember to like the live and share it if you want to share it. Like the live, tap the screen, do all the things, help me support the live. You know, I am new to doing this, but I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to get into it more. So, you know, your support will help me in that effort. True, my grandchildren need to know who their family members are since we are all now spread out. Yeah, and that's another gift that social media gives too, is that, you know, we could connect to each other even though we're far apart. You know, there's always there's a lot of things that, you know, gifts to humanity that could be a blessing and a curse, right? Depending on whose hands it is in. Like social media in the right hands, in the hands that know how to use it and appreciate it and understand the gift of it, you know, it's a gift. But in the wrong hands, is a curse, is a weapon. And that's just, again, you know, that's like fire and all the knives, you know, knives and all the things, the tools that we create to help us, right, to benefit us. And in the right hands is a tool of creation, and in the wrong hands is a tool of, you know what, you know, it becomes a dangerous tool. And humanity is either like, you know, oh, thank you. Humanity number 2 fan club on, thank you so much for that. You know, humanity is, that's why I am of the belief that we are the creators of the world we live in, right? That's how I know we're the creators of the world we live in, because, you know, this, in certain things could be a weapon and a scary thing, and I am a supporter. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that so much. Thank you. You know, what was I gonna say? You know, in the wrong hands, right. I was saying that, you know, we are the creators of the world that we live in. You know, because that's how I know for 100% certainty that we're the creators of the world we live in, because in certain things could be a gift, and then it could be a weapon. It depends on how it is used, and, you know, how the user uses it, right? So what I think is that people like us who use social media for this kind of reason, for connection, for, you know, documentation, and for connecting with family and loved ones, and building and creating a legacy, and all these different things, people that use social media for this, you know, these kind of people gotta not run. Thank you so much. They have to not run away from it, you know, not be afraid of it, not say, oh, I can't do social media because, as you know, it's this kind of place and that kind of place, you know, or anything at all. The things that kind of like scare us, because we always think that only certain people could be in that space, right? Like, for instance, politics or anything, right? But if the good people don't put themselves out in the spaces where everybody else is, then those spaces will always be dominated by the people who use them to abuse and to hurt and to weaponize and to manipulate and do all these things. So that is another reason why I have worked over the last 10 years to find my voice. As I said early on in this live, I worked for the last 10 years. I continue to turn on that camera and make videos. Thank you. You're absolutely correct. I continue to make videos. It took me so long to find my voice and to find my confidence. And like I was saying at the beginning of this live, I said, I finally found it. I find it to the point where I feel like I am to the point now I'm confident that I can expand. I'm confident. There's so much negativity on television. Exactly. And until the creators, the people who actually have good things to contribute to the world, until they start putting themselves out there, they gotta be courageous and they gotta put themselves out there and they gotta be brave. Because until people do that, until we do that, we can't complain about the negativity. We can't complain about how things are if we don't put ourselves out. And one of my favorite quotes over the last chunk of time that same 10 years is the Maya Angelou, not the Maya Angelou one, the be the change you want to see in the world quote. I like seeing positive people and stories. So do I. Absolutely, so do I. And I try my best when I can and how I can to encourage people and to let people know I see them. When I see them, I like to let them know I see them. I let them know in some way. I'm like supporting and liking and duetting and doing whatever, to let them know I see you, I see what you're doing, and that's another thing that we gotta do too, is we support one another, because it is not easy. Be the change you want to see. Exactly. It's not easy to put yourself out there, so you gotta let people know I see you, I support you, I got your back, you're not alone, but the thing is that there's only so much that we could do, right? So, like, for instance, I'm not going to spend all day, scrolling and consuming. And you're not going to spend all day consuming. So, every person does a little bit that they can, You do the little piece that you can. And if all of us do a little piece, then all of us making that change, all of us being the change we want to see in the world. And like I said, what we seeing now, all this yuckiness that we seeing now out in the open, is a good thing that it's coming out in the sunlight. A good thing that it's coming out in the open, because they're not gonna live long in the sun. You know what I mean? It's gonna be destroyed in the sun. So we gotta be the sun. We gotta be the sun, and we gotta be the light, and it's not gonna live long in that light, because what it's hoping to do is devour us, right? To drown us in that despair and that darkness and that yuckiness, right? To make us be paralyzed with fear, make us get lost in it, right? And but we are stronger than that. We are brighter than that. We are more powerful than them. And that is why they're so desperate. That is why that energy is so desperate. There's so much we can do to support other content creators. There is enough for everyone. Exactly. Because like I said, if all of us do a little bit, like we just support the people that we stumble across in the ways that we can, and everybody does that, then there's enough, like you said, there's enough space for everybody, because the world is made to house everybody, to there's space for everybody, and a lot of people think that there isn't. A lot of people don't seem to understand how much of us there is, and there's enough space for everybody. It's just that you gotta just take up your space, focus on your space and take up your space and do what you can, and just trust. We trust one another to support each other, that everybody can do what they can, or most people, or enough people can do what they can. Now, not everybody, but enough people. No need to step on others to climb the success ladder. I agree. I 100% agree. It's unnecessary. And the world will be a safer place when enough people, when enough people, the right people, realize how unnecessary it is. You know, now that I to watch all this foolishness that taking place, and to see like how much it's like manufactured suffering, and I don't get it. I don't get the manufactured suffering. All that is like people that so it low in the low vibrational space, right? Like that they think that they're like some sort of gods or whatever, and they get to choose who gets, to stay, who gets to stay, who has to go. They get to choose. Like they're the gods or something. Some people can't handle success. It goes to their heads, and it makes them miserable. It makes them miserable folks to be around. Yeah, it makes them miserable folks to be around. I think that's a lot. I think that's just trauma, boy. I think that it's fear. I think that when you get successful, you ask yourself, like, who might have deserved this, and how, and you're afraid that you are going to make a mistake, or you're going to mess up and you're going to lose it. And then you treat other people badly because you think that if you mess up, they're going to take your spot. You know what I mean? So you fear that person taking your spot. So you want to squish them before they get into a position to take your spot. It is fear. And that's the one thing that is really mess us up as human beings, is that fear. Is that like, the fear, that's the thing that just messes us up in all kind of scenarios where we make a lot of stupid decisions. We make a lot of stupid choices, and we treat people badly, and we just because of our fears. It's our fears, And I really don't know. I don't know how I don't know, because I always say, I think to be a human is the hardest thing in the world. I think it's hard to be a human being. And I personally, like, I don't judge people because I think it's hard. I don't know what it's like to be in anybody else's shoes, and why they have the fears that they have, and why they, some make the choices that they make, and all this kind of stuff, So like, that's why for me, I always, like I said, I always try to focus on my thoughts and my mind and my choices and all these kind of things, and I analyze the feelings I get, because I remember I started working on my channel. Being a person of faith gives me hope. Yeah. Yes, I get that. Yes, I understand. Because like, but like I was saying, I started on when I started working on my channel and everything. I actually used to I used to panic, like, when my subscribers count will go up, because like the more it started to go up, and even on TikTok too, the more it started to go up, the more I felt pressured, and then you feel that pressure to be something you're not, because people are watching. You're aware, you're starting to become aware that people are watching. It's all easy when, starting out, and, you still feel like nobody are watching, so you could get away with anything. And then all of a sudden, when you start to see that people watching, that people actually, paying attention to you, there's that pressure. And I've been trying to, like, manage the emotions that come with with that growth. So I even though like sometimes I want it to happen fast, like my human brain be like, I want this to happen fast. I want my followers to go up, and I want this to build fast, right? So I can start enjoying the fruits of it fast, right? But then at the same time, I realize that this incremental growth is what I need in order to start to check those feelings that come with growing and developing, those fears that come, and that the thoughts and emotions that you feel, right? So that's the thing too. That's why I want to do this, because I want to build this platform and everything, because I got analytical brain, right? So I pay attention to things in a very deep manner, deep thinker. How long have you been hosting? You mean like the TikTok lives? Because I only like started doing this since yesterday. I mean, I did a few here or there, like scattered throughout the years, but like I only like now since yesterday I tried to doing this like a little bit more consistency. So that, yeah, I haven't been hosting long at all. This is actually kind of new, you know. But I've been doing other things, on social media and developing my platform, my voice, and making videos. I started out on Instagram, and then I moved to YouTube. I officially started focusing on YouTube at the beginning of this year in January. I've done just one TikTok live. Okay, when did you do it? Like recently or? Yeah, so you can give you time to type. I'm going to talk while you're typing. Yeah, but I only decided that I'm going to do a little bit more consistency till the end of the year, I did last week. Okay. So what did you talk about in your life? And are you planning to do more? Is it, or was that just a spur of the moment thing? So thank you for anybody else who might be watching as well. Remember to keep tapping the screen to help me out with those likes, and do all the things to help me to share the live and all the stuff. Feel free to engage and ask questions and all that. I had no idea what I was. Well, how did it go? Was it short? Was it long? Did it go well? How did you feel about it? I know you're asking a million questions. I got a notification to go live. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, but it's actually fun. Did you have fun doing it? It's fun, once you get past the whole nervousness, which I finally got past the nervousness. So now that I passed the nervousness, it was fun. It's fun. I was on for about 15 minutes. And did you enjoy it? And are you gonna do more? And definitely, if you do more, you got somebody that will come and join your lives and participate, so you don't have to be talking to yourself. I was talking, and about 3 people came on. Okay, well that's very good, because I've done this and been talking to, and I've been talking to myself. So I really appreciate having somebody to have a conversation with in this live. So one of the goals I had, because for some reason I always make things more complicated than it needs to be. So that's my brain. But the goal I have is I wanted to do 2 lives a day, like one in the 10 o'clock hour and one in the 2 o'clock hour, like 2:22 and 10:10. That's the times I chose, because me, I don't do things the easy way for some reason. I think I'll do more, but I need to plan the topic to discuss. Right, got you. Yeah, and that's another thing too, so I would have an idea in my head sometimes what I want to talk about, but I don't do well with planning, because I got this notebook and I try to write down these notes, and I just can't do it. Don't do well with planning, so I just got this thought in my head, and then I start talking, and then words come out. I find that when I would try to plan, for me, I think that's added pressure, But for me, it's not a challenge really. To my mind was completely blank. I've had that, so I know what you mean. At the moment, it's not really a challenge because I got like this idea of what I want to talk about to per se. And one of the interesting things that has happened to you when you do this is that you will got the thoughts in your head, right? And as soon as you click on the camera, as soon as you turn it on, it's like everything everything will just fly out your brain, you know. And that's happened to me so many times. And sometimes I will plan and it's like everything just disappears. Exactly. It's like everything just disappears. But I have really grown a lot I've really, like, I seem to have found my voice. I actually surprised myself because I only this is my third one within the last, because I did two yesterday. This is my third one, and I'm not blanking out like I did before. So I think that maybe I I got comfortable enough. I found my voice. I got comfortable enough to really be able to do this, and that's just amazing. Like, I'm a supporter. I don't mind helping others. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Right. So what I was gonna say is that I am. Oh, now I'm blanking out. Now I'm blanking out. That I lost my train of thought. So I don't even know. I don't even know. I was supposed to stay on for about 30 minutes. That's interesting. What, like, very interesting. Okay. All right. Don't know what to say, but okay. To get credit. Right. Okay. So again, too, like, I'm still trying to figure out this thing about getting credit and all these different things. I'm still trying to understand it, and I can't find a good tutorial or anything like that. So I sort of don't know what I'm doing either, to a certain extent. I know a little bit more than I did before, but still, like, I don't know what all these stuff means. A lot of this stuff mean, but I get in it. And it looked fun. And I think that once I get the hang of it, I think it will be a lot of fun. It will be a lot of fun. I think I could do it. I learned a few things in someone's chat. Yeah, because I know a lot of people is teach about these things, in lives and stuff like that. But I haven't really been in one or seen one. But I think I've seen a few times where people are teaching stuff, especially early in the morning. So, but it seems like it seems fun. It seems fun. I enjoy it. And I love, it says here I got 1.1K hearts. So thank you for everybody that was liking the chat, liking the live. Thank you so much. I learned, right. Thank you so much for all the love and the support. I really appreciate that so much. And I will do the same too. We will support each other. It is a process for me. I still, like you, time, because we got different responsibilities and stuff like that. My responsibility really is, like, I got the kids. I'm a homeschool parent and everything. And the reason that I challenged myself to do these lives during the day in December is because we taking a break from homeschooling until the new year. So we on Christmas homeschool break. So I taken advantage of that, and I doing these lives, like, during the day, during the week. So I set a goal, but it's with a light goal, because I can't promise consistency, because the way my life is, I can't promise I can be able to do the times that I said. But like I said, do you homeschool all your children? Only the boys now. The girl is 19. I did with her, but no, she just doing her own thing, starting to work and stuff like that, because yeah, she's 19. So my oldest son, he's starting to transition into the new stage of his life too. So, but yeah, I homeschooled my children for the last how old is she? Like, yeah, 18 years. Yeah. So it's been a journey. So I can't believe that, we here already. We on this site already. No, my kids. I'm an elementary school teacher. Wow, that is just wonderful, 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 wonderful. You know. So you spend a lot of time on TikTok during the day and stuff like that, or did you just happen to be on today? And I didn't give you time to type that. I may go back to teach, but my husband needs me more. Understood. How recent was his this whole, everything that happened? Is it like he's still in the healing process, or like it's been a while, or give you time to type. Give you time to type while we, I'm usually taking him to the doctor's appointments. Okay. Got you. Understood. Okay. Yeah. So how long ago did this happen? Like this whole, like everything happened with the accident, and is it like recent, or? All right. So I can give you time to type that out if you're responding. One of the things is that you can't even see somebody typing, so you have no idea. That's but this was fun. And I am gonna. Yeah, so that was in September of 2022. Okay, I got you. Okay, so kind of recent, but not recent. Okay, all right. Okay. Like once again, I say I'm very, very sorry that he had that happened, and he had that experience. And I know, life is rough sometimes, and that's an understatement. Yeah. By December of 2022, his Achilles tendon ruptured. Oh my gosh! Wow. So 2022 and 2023 was a rough year for you guys, huh? So how is it now? Is it still, will you still categorize it as rough, or we heading towards the healing direction? Or he was in 4 different rehab centers. Okay. Okay. So anyway, so yeah. Each one was worse than, oh my gosh. Wow. Well, I'm glad that he has you, he has you to support, because that is not easy. That is not easy at all. So I'm glad that he didn't have to experience that alone, that he had somebody to support and to care for him. He ended up getting gangrene and oh wow. That was, you guys have, you've been having it rough. I know a lot of people have been having it rough, in different ways. My gosh. Wow. Okay, what is that? Okay. live will end. Alright, so I guess that the time that I set for this live is coming to an end. For pneumonia in his lungs. Oh my goodness. Dang. That was, you guys, that's rough. That is so rough. I don't know what the right words are to say, but you know, I'm really, really sorry that, again, like I said, I'm sorry that you had to go through all that stuff. And I can't even imagine. Great. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for the support and for the encouragement, the engagement, and I loved our conversation. I hope that it's been a journey out of this world. I could imagine that is out of this world. I don't even know. I could imagine is not the right words. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. You know, I admire your strength, and I am glad that he has you. And you know, I hope that, I don't even know what the right words is, but I hope for healing and in all aspects, you know, with the anxiety, the depression, and everything, you know, because I know that is very hard. That is some hard stuff. I can't begin to relate to it. But thank you so much for everybody who supported and who listened in and who engaged. God is our strength. Amen. Who engaged and who liked the live. I so appreciate it, because I mean, you could imagine a live like hosting a party that nobody comes to. So when one or two people come, at least you feel better. You know what I mean? You could have fun with one or two people, but hosting a party with nobody attending is a little sad. So thank you for it. I wouldn't make it work, because I could be alone, but it's better with friends. It's better with company. So thank you so much for coming to my live and peeping in and engaging and liking it and supporting. And I hope to see you in when I do this again. At any point that I do this again, I hope to see you in more lives that I do in the future. And let me know when you're doing one, so that I could come and return the favor and support your live as well. So thank you so much, and a lot of love, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I might come back after 2, or I might not, depending on how the day go. But thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Y'all have a wonderful day.